Welcome back to the Nerdcore podcast reviews of movies and talks that nerd shit. This is episode 349, not to be confused with 394. We'll get to that sooner or later. And
Probably
sooner than later for sure. As always, it is the nerd that you're gonna hear to host the show alongside my wonderful co-host, Young Yoda.
Sup, everybody. Welcome to another amazing Nerdcore show.
Yup. Third movie of Western month as we discuss Hell or High Water. But first of all, how are you doing, Bradley?
Doing well. It's Monday. I'm alive. I'm ticking. Feeling good. Talking with one of my best friends, even though we hashed it out on Twitter. Slapped the shit out of you, son.
What did you slap the shit out of me about?
Because I was fucking with you.
Oh, the whole screenshot.
Screenshotted.
You're dumb. Brad thinks that he does stuff. He's witty with things, but he's actually not.
Oh, I didn't think I was witty at all. I was just annoying you.
Yeah. It is your job title, right?
I mean, it's literally in my Twitter bio.
Yep, for sure. It's what's it called? It's just Brad being who he is. And today we're going to be talking about a pretty damn good movie. And I wanted to throw up some stuff. It's a new week, my friend, so more episodes this week. I just uploaded my review of The King of Staten Island, and I want you guys to go check that out. That was a pretty good review. I just typed up literally like as of like.
I'm really hoping that was better than his stand-up special.
For Pete Davidson, I'll tell you right now. What's it called? The jokes in The King of Staten Island. What's it called? They land more than Pete's
stand-up. Yeah,
stand-up.
His last stand-up he was off.
Look, I'm very on board when I say that the Pete Davidson makes me laugh on SNL. Everything other than SNL, it's like hit or miss with me.
Yeah.
This was different. I really did enjoy this one. I want to thank Sabrina Ramirez of First Cut for writing an incredible review on Geeks of Color that really convinced me to watch this. And when we were recording our incredible episode of Cinema Condition, she was talking to me about this movie, and I was like, you know what? I'm thinking about watching this. I'm gonna rent this, and then I read her review on Geeks of Color, and that's really what hit the nail on the head. I was like, you know what? Let me get into this. So this week the new episode of Cinema Condition will be dropping. It's available right now for patrons, and this is also live for patrons right now. So more to come to plug about that soon to later in the episode, but lots of fun. Brad, we couldn't stream yesterday, so I want to go ahead and clear the air.
Your power done fucked up.
Yeah, my power went out. Comes back around 10 o'clock. Brad asks, are we still canceled? I was like, yeah, I'm not about to do a 30-minute live show. Come on. No.
I was like, okay, I'll just keep playing Destiny.
Yeah, so Thank you for my random germ 101 for holding down the fort while I was out.
I don't know. I think we should thank Mr. Chillzone for actually being there, for having somebody to talk with.
Yeah. You know he's loyal to us, man. We love him a lot.
Love Mr. Chillzone.
Love Mr. Chillzone. Shout out Mr. Chillzone. How the people at First Cut say, support the homies. So So thank you for holding down the fort, bro. That was much needed. So we'll hopefully be back this weekend for more streaming for Nerdcore Live Show if my power doesn't go out again. But right now, everything is good.
At any time, I think I'm falling into the gig of it. My only concern is I'm just going to we're trying to get to that 3 followers average. And my big worry is that I'm just going to take that down. Like with 2 followers here, 3 followers here. So
yeah. Well, man, I mean, I think we're doing a pretty good job. What's it called? Usually we get like 2 viewers for High Flyer Radio, so don't worry, you're not the only one at fault. But most of the audience seems to be coming back for
live show.
For the live show. But then again, what's it called? If we go down, we just come back up, man. We're close. We're really close.
Mm-hmm.
So we hope that you guys go over there and check us out at on the Nerdcore Live Show on twitch.tv.
And I felt bad because yesterday I was trying to record a new game I had, the Edith Finch one, which apparently is kind of boring, but
fucking Edith,
my fucking sound Like, I don't know why my sound went out. I don't know if I just didn't have my microphone plugged in all the way on my headphones. But yeah,
Technology is hard, my friend.
it's no bueno.
Yep. Technology is difficult, bro. I just don't know why you're not streaming it on your computer. I mean, you have
Because
your
OBS is a bitch.
yeah, but I mean it's simpler than me trying to do the live show through
I
OBS.
mean, I'm sure it's simpler for you. It ain't simpler for me.
Dude, you
PS4
have to-
PS4 is pretty good though, like because it just
Yeah.
streams right away, and then it puts you
Yeah,
into
but
the
also
category
you
you
have-
need to go.
Yeah, but you also have your camera and everything on your what's it called on your OBS, and it's much more interactive. You know, what's it called? And say what you want. You know, a lot of people what's it called? You always say that people don't want to see your face, but you know, what's it called? Have we not debunked that theory as of late with the live show? Like people like seeing our reactions when we do stupid stuff.
I mean, I
Well-
think that's all Eric.
No, you too, bro. But, yeah, just what's it called on OBS, and you know,
I will
want-
keep playing with it, but for now, I will be streaming on PS4 until we can figure out the Stream Deck situation and everything.
look. What's it called? Depending on what time we finish right now, what's it called? I'll help you out with the Stream Deck, and you just got to make sure that you have the application, you know, downloaded and everything.
Oh, look, I did a check. I don't know what I did there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the trash.
Trash. All right, man. So let's go.
I did a
and get-
happy face. I don't know what that's. Is
Hold on.
it doing anything? I hope that's not doing anything.
I got to get the iPad to play the spoiler warning. It's a good thing that it was like right next to me. But yeah, dude. Brad, anything new that we want to bring up before I plug my iPad in and we get into this?
No.
Nope. I'm almost done with my old boy review for that 75 films from Asia. Old boy. Yeah. And
boy.
let's get into this, my friends. So if you have never seen Hell or High Water, this is your chance to get off and not listen to spoilers. But if you don't care about spoilers and continue listening, either way, your spoiler warning is in effect in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blam. Is that loud enough for y'all?
No. Louder.
That was as loud as it was gonna get.
Damn it.
Yeah. Whatever. So let's get into this. Hell or High Water. As always, the source that we trust the most, Wikipedia. Hell or High Water is a 2016 American neo-Western film, neo-Western heist film, which I got so much slack in 2016 for my friend group for calling it a neo-Western. And they didn't understand why I was calling it a neo-Western. It was just call it a Western. It's what it is. I'm like, no, it's a neo-Western. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about differences on that because I don't even know.
Well, it's because
Well, let's read through it, and then you'll get to it.
Directed by David Mackenzie and written by Taylor Sheridan, the film follows two brothers, Chris Pine and Ben Foster, who carry out a series of bank robberies to save their family ranch, while being punned by two Texas Rangers, Jeff Bridges and Gil Birmingham. The film premiered at the Certain Regard section of the 2016 Cannes Film Festival on May 16, 2016, and was theatrically released in the United States on August 12, 2016. It received critical acclaim and grossed $37 million against a $12 million budget. I believe that's right? 12 million, yes. What you can get for $12 million, guys. It grossed over 37 million. The American Film Institute selected it as one of the best movies, one of its 10 best movies of the year, and it was nominated for numerous awards, including 4 Oscar nominations at the 89th Academy Awards: Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor for Bridges, Best Original Screenplay, and Best Film Editing. What the hell? Pine wasn't nominated?
Yeah, that was my
Birmingham?
question. Or I would have put Ben Foster in for supporting
Foster
actor.
and Birmingham.
Yeah.
But that whole monologue about, the land being stolen by, people and then by the banks, like that line, that whole monologue, I think is enough for Birmingham to have gotten nominated. And
I mean, it is Jeff Bridges though, so that should be totally expected.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Brad, also, I want to go ahead and give a shout out. Giles Nuggins for
Giles
cinematography.
Nuggins.
Yeah, Nuggins. Giles Nuggins. Cinematographer on this film. Absolutely applause to you, sir.
Got my
Wow.
nuggets.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
this movie's beautiful.
fucking beautiful.
I don't
man.
know what it is about westerns, but it's basically like it's my backyard. So
Yeah, yeah. So let's go ahead and get some initial thoughts here. This is my second rewatch of Hell or High Water. I own this movie on Blu-ray, and I'll tell you, the second time around, I still absolutely adore this movie. This movie has everything about a western, but in a modern sense of it. It's literally shown. It's this odd dichotomy of the death of the old west and the resurgence of the new west by being accompanied by bank robberies and a changing landscape of the west and the old cowboys having to go off into the sunset while these new modern cowboys are starting to take shape. And I gotta say that this movie is incredibly directed the hell out of this movie. He directed the hell out of this movie, and great performances, and just one of my favorite westerns of all time.
I mean, it's
Fuck
it's a
is that?
story. That's probably my dog. She's squeaking.
Holy shit, that's the loudest squeaker. Oh my god. Sorry about that, Brad. Go back. I'm sorry. I just had to call it out. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Well,
You got
the problem being is she chewed my my cable the other day, which was a
Yeah.
flat cable, so I could shut the door. Well, the cable we got afterwards is like this big fat cable, so my door doesn't shut all the way anymore.
Damn it. So microphone doesn't even matter anymore. We're
No.
literally having noise in here. Yeah. Sorry about that, but let's try to move on.
Anyways, yeah, this movie is the basic premise, which is great, is like any other old western, is outlaws versus the law. That's really what this movie is. And just like in a lot of those other movies, you find yourself rooting for the outlaws. And that's where I found myself on this. I'm like, I totally get it. This man wants to break the cycle of being poor, and his brother was willing to sacrifice himself in order to see that achieved for his family. The father, or his other brother, was willing to sacrifice either his life or, being put to prison in order to break this cycle of just being poor and having the banks take his mom's land. And he had a plan, and yeah, the banks knew what they were doing. So really, this puts you in a kind of position where you're rooting for the bad guys because the banks are against them, the Rangers are against them, the citizens are against them. And really what they want to do is create something better for his children. Now, did he go about that the right way with 4 people dead at the end of this and, even his brother dead? I don't know. But this was definitely a story of determination and perseverance to change the cycle that he had been living in.
One of the things I most appreciate about this movie is that our 4 main characters are there's something different to each of them. Chris Pine's character is willing to sacrifice and kind of go along Ben Foster's character, his brother's way, but there's still something that wants to pull him out of it because he doesn't want to do this anymore. While Ben Foster is so far gone and he's willing to sacrifice his life. And then on the police side, you have Jeff Bridges, a cop that's about to retire, who doesn't feel like he's done everything he can do to retire in peace yet. And he wants this final crime to really be the stepping stone of his career, to really make it something important. And then you have probably one of the most interesting characters to me, Gail Birmingham's character, who's a half indigenous and half Mexican man. A Mexican indigenous man who has been, cornered into the force that oppresses his own people and is really trying to find, something to do in there while, also being, kind of wedged against like the fight against the banks and the real, because he fights criminals, but the real criminals he talks about are the banks.
Yeah. And did you feel like he was being strung along this whole time by Jeff Bridges'
Yeah.
character. Like
Yeah.
he didn't even want. He wanted to go back to Lubbock. He was like,
Yeah.
I don't even care. These dudes are stealing like $4,000 a piece at these banks. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, Jeff Bridges, like you said, is on a mission to basically capstone his career.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Gil Birmingham's character Alberto, he
Ends up in death.
ends up in death, which and even Ben Foster's character, like you said, he's far gone. He's a criminal. He's a life criminal. He shot his own father, probably for good reason. It's kind of said his father was an abusive piece of shit, so probably for good reason, but he still did that. And the one scene I almost teared up at was when he was saying goodbye to Chris Pine's character, and you knew what he was about to do. He was about to sacrifice himself in order for Chris Pine to get away.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was his way, I think, of being the good older brother and being like, yo, I know I've been shitty, but I'm going to do something. I'm going to sacrifice myself. And that allows our family in your generation to continue on.
Yeah, it's somehow a kind of a play on the outlaw that we've known, and that's why I call this a neo-western, because it's very different than the outlaws from the old western films. This is a very complex outlaw. This is an outlaw that somehow is redeemed at the end, and
even you know, and it's some of it's just cool. Like, don't tell me Ben Foster's character where he stops the truck and he gets out. And he's got the AK out, and he's just blasting all those trucks, and those people turn and run. Don't tell me that scene isn't cool, because that scene fucking awesome.
Awesome, dude.
And I think Ben Foster's character is very overlooked in this film, at least on some standpoint, because he's just such a complex character. This was a man who you can tell was abused in his childhood. He grew up and basically just went to prison for most of his life. But at the end, he's trying to redeem himself in the eyes of his brother and to help his family.
Dude,
and the only way he knows.
Yeah. I got to say, one of my favorite scenes is the gas station scene. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in there, by the way. And, you know, it first comes off, it's funny, but Mackenzie does something really, really smart in here. It's kind of those things, like, if you're not paying attention to it, there's a lot of stuff in the frame that you're not seeing happen. Like, so what's it called? First of all, the cowboy, the man in the horse riding off while the other guy pulls in with his GT, kind of GTR, kind of symbolizing the old West versus the new West.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice the man on this horse.
Yeah, the man, the horse in the back. Hold on here. What's it called? Now I'm gonna pull it up in the share screen. But it's like you have the old West, the old West cowboy, the honorable one, and then you have the new West thug that comes in.
And Ben Foster's character like falls in the middle.
Yeah,
he really does, because he has that old cowboy mentality, but in the new kind of school way of being an outlaw. And then,
when that whole confrontation is happening, and I'm gonna pull it up right here. It's gonna be right here on what's it called, on the share screen in like 5 seconds, guys. Sorry. There's something that's happening that I found it was so interesting that I saw it until I rewatched that clip on YouTube. Somebody said if you were to pay attention when he brings out the gun right here, Ben Foster's arm moves down. He reached
the gun.
For the gun,
which I kind of figured he would have.
Yeah, and then it's something that you don't see unless you had paid attention really well to it. And then when Chris Pine's character comes in, you can see the revolver down here that he had grabbed. And but you know, the writing is also so damn intelligent. Like, you know, when he's like, you know, you want something, you're like, you would think there'd be 10 of me, dude. Like, you know,
and he really only needed one brother.
Yeah. And also just Attila playing in the background, like, what the fuck? Did you get more douche?
Bam!
But also, did you notice that the stuntman left a dent in that car?
Yeah, I did notice that.
Yeah. Dude, holy crap. But I mean, it's just it's one, and it's all a one take too. It's like, wow, like it's just one of my favorite scenes from that whole.
Well, and I like how he learned because he came back and threw the gun, and Ben
Yeah.
Foster was like, "Hey, you remember the gun? Because you
Yeah.
didn't remember it last fucking time. You're learning."
Yeah. That's a fun callback to the earlier scene with the old man at the bank. It's like, what's it called? You got a gun, old man? He's like, of course I do. But it's like, the guy couldn't aim for shit.
No, that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, Ben Foster's character could fucking aim. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I gotta say though, what's it called? Wait, because I do believe he did say something about being an ex-army. What's it called? A member,
Could've
right?
Could have
I
been.
think he said that, like he was ex-army or something. But I also have to bring up this film does have a lot of really comedic touches to it, which is really, it's really what's it called? It's really soothing for this type of film because if anything, we would just have a pure ass heist film with what's it called in the West. And I gotta say that the scene in the in the what's it called in the diner with the old lady, that's funny as hell.
I like that whole scene because you get so much energy from Chris Pine and Ben Foster that you kind of need that energy from Jeff Bridges and Gil Birmingham to kind of take it down a notch a little bit and to get you ready for that next spike that we're going to get from Pine and Foster. So that whole scene where they're just in the town and then Bridges falls asleep on outside and the and also that restaurant scene kills me every time. What don't you want? And Bridges like, what?
Yeah, or the
what?
Or the other, those lines like I'm not speeding, just kind of coming in, or like what's it called? Dr. Pibb, only assholes drink Dr. Pibb, and he goes, okay, so drink up. And it's like, yeah, I love it, dude. There's these lines that just kind of fall, and they're jokes, and they're great jokes. But the movie never seems to really let go of what it actually is, and it's a neo-Western heist film.
Yeah, and I really like the detail they go into this on how they change the stolen money into actual money that they can use. So they go to a Native American casino, and they get chips, and they basically just sit in the casino for hours.
Yeah.
Chris Pine's character at the bar, and Ben Foster gambling just a little bit. Yeah. And that's basically how they play it off of, we just won a lot of money.
And oh my God, I mean, all those scenes that are outside are beautifully shot and framed, but God damn did I love every scene inside in the casino, just how beautiful the colors look and just how beautifully framed it is and everything, dude. It's just awesome.
Didn't you like that scene with the Comanche? Like the one where Ben Foster's character, I just thought the dialogue was so good in that. Yeah. That is like, Comanche means enemy to all. What does that make you? And he's like, Comanche.
Yeah. And I what's it called? I love the what's it called? How it comes back at the end when he's like Lord of the Plains, and it's like,
and he turns his right and he sees Jeff Bridges and
yeah.
But and then did you catch the end where the scene with the snake that was right by his dead body?
Yeah.
That little addition. So there were a lot of little details in this movie that really add up.
Yeah, it's just, it all adds up, dude, and it's just also perfectly crafted and just beautifully directed. It's just it's easily, I think I had it in my top 10 of 2016. I can't remember, but it's been years and years of that.
I think it's easily one of my favorite westerns.
Easily one of my favorite westerns. It's there's a reason I wanted to choose this one. What's it called? There's a reason I chose an old west and a new west. I wanted to show how different these movies can be. Like, I could have easily chosen Logan, and that's a western too. But I had a really, really fun time rewatching this one because it's just it beats by its own drum, but it also never forgets that it is a western.
I mean, and then Chris Pine really gets, we're used to seeing Chris Pine in like the sci-fi Star Trek as Captain Kirk or Wonder Woman, and this is really kind of nice to see that he can go outside of those movies and do a very down-to-earth character. And I think before we go into rating, you need to talk about that ending scene.
Oh, just poetically crafted, bro. That is just one of my favorite endings. And there's a reason I brought up the end scene. I was just like, if you need an example out of this movie where the dialogue is just perfect and what's it called? And just the directing is perfect and the writing is perfect. It's that final scene. It's that ending scene. Just everything from the calm conversation that kind of leads to a possible Mexican standoff to it getting diffused by the wife and the children coming in, and then it coming to the possible realization that Chris Pine might die, and that's the only piece that could come to Chris Pine.
Well,
and it's perfectly crafted.
And for the sake of the movie, it really didn't matter. Because let's face it, Chris Pine got away with it. Chris Pine and his brother made it so their family would be able to never be poor ever again. Yep. And that was Chris Pine already went into that thinking he was going to die or go to prison for life. He already figured that. So, he wasn't afraid to stand down Jeff Bridges and go, look, old man, I live in town. You come back whenever you want and we'll settle this. And I don't know. There's just something about a character that is just prepared. He's already done everything he's planned to do. He knows his family's taken care of, and he's just ready to face his maker if so be it.
Yeah, it's just so badass, that final scene.
But I don't think I've ever felt for the bad guys, because let's face it, Ben Foster and Chris Pine were the bad guys. They were the outlaws in this, but you feel for them. You feel for them really more than you do for the Rangers or for the banks they're even robbing. You're like, those banks are bastards. Yeah. Because, we've all had family like that. We've all had family where the banks have given them, bad service and put bad credit, and people have lost things because of that.
Yeah. It's just what's it called? And it reminds me of, it's not the best movie ever, but it's like everything comes kind of climactically ending at the end, and everything it's that final monologue that really makes the movie. It reminds you a lot about Cosmopolis and that monologue with Robert Pattinson and I can't remember his name at all, but there's just that perfectly dialogue and just perfectly acted final scene of the dialogue that comes in. It's just it's that climactic resolution in a sense, even though it's not really a resolution.
Yeah, and this really isn't a resolution, but either Chris Pine is just going to go on living his life and having to have this burden on him of what he did because 4 people were dead, or him and Jeff Bridges were going to take it out. Because I don't think Jeff Bridges is going to let it lie. I think he would have a final meeting just because Jeff Bridges is old and doesn't have anything better to do. And he wants to avenge his partner. Even though he killed Ben Foster's character, like he said, that was not the brains out of the outfit. And
I also can't put it past Chris Pine's character to have killed himself at some point either.
Yeah. But like he said, Chris Pine put it into motion. And that's what got his partner killed.
Yep. So I love this movie, and I cannot give it anything less than a 10. I think it's perfect. I think it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Easily one of the best movies of 2016. And it was you have no idea how happy I was in 2016 to see a Western being nominated for Best Picture. And a Western just as good as this one. It was like, it had been a long time since Westerns had gotten a Best Picture nom. And this was just rightfully so, that it was a damn great movie.
Yeah, it's different. Very different for a Western to be this good, especially in today's climate. Because let's face it, Westerns don't get a lot of love and praise.
Yeah, it's a bygone era of filmmaking, man.
Yeah, but it still shows that there's still stories out there that can be told and can be told well that fall into this genre.
Yep.
And for this, I'm also giving it. This is an excellent movie. This is an excellent pick. One of my favorite Westerns I've ever seen. So it's a 10 out of 10. Spectacular.
I want to rewatch that gas station scene again.
This movie is so smart though. Like the where he's getting chased and he puts his truck on an incline and he lights a gas can.
Yeah, it's so damn
fucking smart.
So freaking smart. But yeah, next week we'll be reviewing Bone Tomahawk for Brad's pick, and of course we have our what's called Patreon mini pick, which is Desierto. I can't wait to rewatch that. It's been a while since I rewatched Desierto, And so Christopher Nolan's Tenet was delayed until July 31st, which still means it comes out in July. We might not be able to watch Tenet, but we will be celebrating the director known as Christopher Nolan. So next month will be Christopher Nolan month, and we'll have a bunch of movies from Christopher Nolan. So our coin toss next week will be to settle who gets the Patreon mini. So who goes first. But it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. And I also have to kind of remember which Nolan movies we've covered. I don't think we covered any of Nolan's work. So
did we cover Inception? I thought we covered Inception.
No. I don't think we've ever covered any of his movies, which is odd because you would think we would do it by now.
What about The Dark Knight? Did we cover that one?
Nope, we've never covered any of his movies.
We never covered The Dark Knight. What kind of film review are we?
I know 349 episodes and we've never covered The Dark Knight. So
what the fuck are we doing?
I know, I feel ashamed of it's time to change that, man. Yeah.
What the fuck?
I'm really ashamed of us that we haven't covered The Dark Knight.
What did Heath Ledger do? What did Heath Ledger do to you, Raul?
You know how many times we mentioned Heath Ledger in his Joker?
Yeah, especially a couple years back. Yeah.
We've never covered the Dark Knight. I've watched The Dark Knight more times than we've covered it on the.
We've talked about Suicide Squad more than we talked about The Dark Knight. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, we got to fix that next month.
Jesus.
So and then this weekend, our Saturday morning review is Spike Lee's newest joint, The Five Bloods, and I'm really excited. I'm going to get to watch that soon. So expect on Saturday for us to have that review, and of course, it'll be live on Thursday for every patron, and it'll be up early for patrons as well. So, without further ado, Brad, do we have anything to plug? Yeah. So Wednesday, what's it called? Next time you get to listen to me, if it's not High Flyer Radio, it's Wednesday, Cinema Condition with Sabrina Ramirez. Sabrina Ramirez joined me to discuss Michael Gondry's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Really incredible movie, and I'm glad that we got to discuss it. And you guys could not believe the film that she chose for season 2. I mean, I'm very excited for that episode. I might just want that one to be the season 2 premiere, because wow. I mean, I can already imagine the conversation we're gonna have on that film. So without further ado, I mean, just go check that out. Go check out thenerdcore.com for all like wonderful reviews and stuff. And I'm gonna have my old boy up soon, but of course I said The King of Staten Island is up, and you can go read that. Somebody already dropped the like, so I want to thank Gary Trujillo for liking my review on the King of Staten Island. So the nerdcore.com also has other podcasts, so you can find us, where to find the podcast. Also has a list, what's it called, the member bios, and you can find out more about who makes up the network. And we also have, what's it called, a recommended viewing page where you can find all the movies that we discuss. I have to update that soon. I can't keep on plugging it without what's it called,
updating
it.
You need to add Capone onto there in Hell or High Water.
Yeah, I gotta do that. So Brad also put up an article, right, Brad?
Yep, on Capone. So opinion piece. I figured I'd come to the service of Josh Trank, who gets enough shit as it is for Fantastic Four, where I don't believe the shit he's been getting for Capone is deserved, because I really think the movie he set out to make is very, very specific to what Capone was going through. So I think Trank did an amazing job.
You should try tweeting him the article, man. I'm pretty sure
I tried to find his Twitter, but I couldn't find his Twitter.
Joshua Trank, I think. Just try to. I can't remember, but I think it is Joshua Trank. Even though he gets so much unnecessary shit.
He gets so much unnecessary shit for a movie from 2015 that I really just wanted to throw a little positivity towards him and be like, "Yo, I really enjoyed Capone, but I'm also kind of a historian in a way of weird shit. So I knew what Capone's last years were." And my thing is, I think there's a lot of people who went into this movie thinking they were going to see a gangster shooting shit and beating people with a baseball bat, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah. Oh, Josh Trank, he deleted his Twitter account.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because I went looking for him. I was going to include him in an at, and yeah.
Yeah, that really sucks, man. But it's understandable. I would delete my account too if I was getting constant shit about, especially with the new article that came about from the interview on the Meaning Up podcast. So, people were giving him so much shit. It's just we need to move the fuck on already. There's more important movies out there than some cape shit, guys. Like, please, let's just move on. You didn't make the version you wanted of Fantastic Four. So what? It is a shit movie, but whatever. Just move the fuck on. It's just
And there are some directors who I think they go through genres trying to figure out what they want to do.
Mhm.
And I really think Trank's good at like a biopic. I really do. With this Capone, and then he's doing one on Teddy Roosevelt, I read.
Yeah.
So I really think this might be, his lane.
I have $12 in an Amazon gift card. I think I'm gonna rent Capone soon. But yeah, I think it's just ridiculous the way the shit that Josh Trank gets, and it's whatever.
My thing is, does he deserve some of the flack he gets for Fantastic Four? No doubt. Fantastic Four was not the greatest thing. If that's due to him or the studio, he knew he was going to get flack for that. We all knew it. But for Capone, I don't think you continue that 5 years of just, nerd rage into his new movie. I don't agree with that. I think you have to start with a clean slate. You look at it, what the movie is, and to me, this movie was a fantastic watch. And I'm probably going to watch it again this year.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. So if you would like to follow us on __Nerdcore on that's Instagram and Twitter. That's Twitter and Instagram. Also, we want to give a shout out to our patrons. Our patrons are the best. We finally have that graphic where we have, the patrons on the thank you. Yeah, my internet has been shit all day, so I'm pretty sure right now we're having a little bit of a delay. That's why I'm trying to finish this as soon as we can.
You're coming in good for me.
Patreon.com/nerdcore. Yeah. All right. So it's all fine. It's all good. Let's just try to finish this because we are at the tail end. So
all right,
patreon.com/nerdcore. We want to thank our okay. Just let me finish it. What's it called? I want to thank our producers, Cassie and Sarah. I'm gonna actually not give out social media today just because I want to finish this before it cuts out. So Cassie and Sarah are associate producers. Grayson Barker, Shane SRRKK is executive producers. And we also have other executive producers, Real Nerdy Dad, Tony and Bryce. Thank you so much for being wonderful, patrons and producers of our show. We would love to, we would love to extend our thank you and our love to you all. Bradley, let's go ahead and send them out.
Right, roll. Thank you for being host as always. And thank you to everyone who listens, who appreciates us, who donates to us. Love you all. Go watch Hell or High Water. Go watch Capone. Go watch whatever recommended by Raul. Got to point that way.
King of Staten Island.
King of Staten Island and Young Yoda out.
Oh, crap.